Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you all so much for being here. And today we are doing a review for the very surprising to my knowledge theatrically released Hoodwinked that came out in 2005. This is an animated film that I have experience with. I have seen this before. This was part of my childhood. It was nostalgia, so bear with me. I'm very nostalgic at certain points. Just see my thoughts on Cars too. Forgive me. But anyway, I know that this is a film that I've heard very extreme opposites. Some people really like it, some people do not. We will get into why later. But first thing I have to say is if you enjoy stuff like this, then please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any future videos, and please join me in the comments. What are your thoughts on Hoodwinked? And please be sure to just take an explore around the channel, see what you like, see what you don't like. Please don't say what you don't like. But um also, on the 30th of May, we are doing an action ranking of several different franchises of Daniel Craig's James Bond era, as well as Mission Impossible, John Wick, Die Hard, Rambo, and I believe that is it. So be sure to bear with us for that because I know the Expendables. Did I say that? If I didn't, then please, I'm sorry, but that is the stuff that we will be doing. So mark your calendars for that, and be sure to subscribe to everyone. I've mentioned them quite enough, so you guys should be able to find them on your own. If you cannot, then we have some problems. But I have several posts where they are at. But anyway, so let us get into the actual review here. And starting off with the positives for Hoodwinked, and is that my biggest positive is the voice cast here. And the voice cast is definitely great. Of course, you have Anne Hathaway in here, which was surprising as our main character, Red. Glenn Close is Granny, which also is surprising. You have Patrick Warburton. Wow, this guy is awesome, I'll just say that. So him as a voice actor, he was Kronk in the Groove movies of Emperor's New Groove and Gizmo's New Groove. I've seen both though, but trust me, the voice casting here is pretty good, and there's more. But and also I enjoy the clever spin that they bring on the not the genre, although there's a lot of adaptations that you could basically call it a genre at this point, but not really the genre, more like the story of Little Red Riding Hood, where they make their own twist on it. They kind of turn it into a detective story, which we will kind of elaborate on later, but it is definitely a great spin on it, and I do enjoy that, and I do think that there are some moments that are very fun, and it's a film that it's not really doesn't really require much. It's only 82 minutes. Just get in, get out, and it doesn't really overstay its welcome, but it doesn't offer anything too near. And so, even though I don't have too much positive to say about it, I do still enjoy this film. I'll get into why, but if I have any more positives while I'm talking about it, then I'll be sure to bring it up. But then in the mixed category, I really only have one, and that's the comedy. And the comedy is very hit and miss. There's some jokes that I did chuckle at, and that's one of the reasons why it's not on the bad, because there are some jokes that do fall flat. And speaking on that subject, we will move on to the negatives, of which my biggest one, which was surprising, but my biggest one was the actual mystery of the story, which I was very surprised I did not like so much. And here's why: because normally because I've been watching so many more movies lately, I've seen a lot of movies in my time, guys, so normally I'm not able to go too far into predicting. Well, I mean, I've been getting better at it, but I don't usually tend to go too far into it. Like Spiral was one of the first ones I predicted of, like, I found the twist extremely obvious, and it was very, and most people I think did, and if not, at least I'm smart then. But then you have this where I don't even know where to begin, where the twist is not really the twist. There will be spoilers here, so move on to a little bit later. But or go watch the movie then do this. But the twist involving us having the actual bandit of this being the bunny, it was so blatantly obvious. Like, there's so many Easter eggs, like Of course, you have a bunch that I was like, how is nobody suspecting him of this? Like, there's of course one where Red falls out of the thing, the it's like it's like that. I don't know how to explain it. It's something that they're in the air and she falls, but right after that happens, he's like no, and then tries to do it. But if you're looking closely, he's just trying to grab the basket because the bandit wants what's in the basket, which is the thing, and so it looks. It doesn't even look like he was grabbing her. It looked like he was trying to get the basket, which was probably what was happening. And then immediately when he doesn't get it, it then shows an upper pan of her following from her point of view, and it shows him going like, "Dang it!" And it then is like, "Why did you guys let that on screen? That is so obvious. I mean, why?" And plus, there's all sorts of hints, like the fact that he's the only character in the entirety of the film wherein he's in every single story. Where in Granny's story, in Wolf's story, in the big I don't know which one he is. I don't know what he is. Swedish, Scottish, whatever. Somebody please correct me down below. But and every story he is somehow in it. Somehow he has an appearance. Whether it be him saying that he knows a shortcut to Granny's for Wolf, for that weird guy he has. I don't exactly remember what it was for him, but I remember that he was in it. You have Red, of course, he's in most of that story. Well, not most. He's in a good portion of it. And Granny, he's like that fan that wants the autograph. So he's in all four of their stories. And you're like, well, the bandit's... You're supposed to be watching out for the bandit. And you immediately are like, well, it has to be him. He's the only character that's been in here the entire time. And it's just so annoying that they didn't really flesh it out very well. And I normally am not as good. Sometimes I have my moments where I can predict twists, but normally I'm not as good on it, and I was very shocked at how blatantly obvious it was. I had seen this before, so I knew it was, but I was going into it as the perspective of someone who hadn't gone into it and did not know what it was. And even if I had been watching this for the first time, within within like a few seconds of him on screen, I immediately was like, yeah, it's him. Which leads me to my next problem, which is the animation, which looks awful. The animation looks terrible. And I think that was one of the problems. The animation gives them this look that, at times, especially with the bunny, because he's the bad guy, there's times where he looks and some of the way that he sounds, which I'm not blaming this on the person, but there's very clear scenes where the way that his facial expression is, like when he comes on screen and he's like saying, well, I'm out of a job because that bandit stole my boss's cookbook, the Muffin Man. And immediately you are then like, well, the way that he's looking, he is not very sad about it. He just looks very suspicious. Like, well, obviously she's going to fall for it, so... And it is infuriating how obvious it is, so I was not happy about that because it was really easy to be like, yeah, this guy is definitely the bandit. And so even if I had been watching this for a first time, I mean, like, from the eyes of someone that hadn't seen it before, I would have been like, killer. Not killer. I've been watching too many Saw movies. I would have been like, yeah, this guy is definitely he is definitely the bad guy. There's no way. And sadly, I was right. But the animation itself looks really bad. It's not nearly as egregious as what is it? Food Fight. Food Fight is an unwatchable dumpster fire with terrible animation. So it's not nearly as unwatchable as that type of animation, but it still is. It was still pretty not good. We'll just say that. And there's times where it looks okay. Like the wolf, the animation on him isn't the worst. I can get over it. It depends on what scene it is. Like, there's a scene where the wolf, let's just say he describes the animation best. But, yeah, and kind of, but there's moments where it looks okay, but there's moments, like, especially there's two moments where I could not stand it. One is that when that, whatever he is, Swedish, whatever, I don't know, the guy that likes schnitzel, when he was having, of course, the, like, musical scene, and you have the kids going around, their animation makes them look so terrible and terrifying. Blech. So that one definitely got on my nerves. The other one was of course, as soon as there's like an exposition type dump involving the bunny's plan and they have like a dance sequence, and of course, like Wolf says, the song was catchy, but the choreography was terrible because the choreography is terrible in that dance. But if you actually take a look, the animation when they are doing the dance looked unbelievable, and I absolutely hated it in certain spots, and it really grated on my nerves. But really, that's just about all I have to say about this film. But I don't want to just talk about my thoughts. What do you guys think of Hoodwink down below? Who's your favorite character? And for my favorite character, I'd probably give it to Wolf. Probably just because I love the voice actor so much. He's just so awesome as Kronk, and he's also, Patrick Warburton. Hopefully I didn't mess that up, but he is a great actor and really fun as Kronk, and he's definitely the comic relief of the bunch. So it was great to have him in here. Let me know your guys' favorite character down below. What do you guys think of this film? Do you love it? Do you hate it? You more mixed on it, which I don't see many people mixed on it, but just let me know your thoughts down below. And thank you again, guys, for clicking on this video. This was definitely fun because definitely some nostalgia here. So thank you all so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you are not already, and have a good one.